Hey, what's going on? Matthew Taman here. Listen, in today's video, I want to go over something that I get a lot of question about. Matthew, I want to launch my website. But it seems like such a daunting task. I'm not an expert. I'm not a coder. I don't know what to do. Where do I go? What do I need? All those things. So today, I want to give you 15 things that you can do in order to launch your website. At the end of this video, I guarantee you, you're going to be able to have all the things that you need in order to launch a very successful website. Okay, so let's go. The first thing you need to do is you need to have a why. Okay, what is your why for wanting to start this business? I see so many people asking, why do you want to start a business? Just to make money? Well, that can be part of it. Okay, I'm sure we all can want to make a lot of money, right? But don't let that just be the driving reason why you're starting a business. You have to have, what is your why? Why do you really want to start this business? Maybe you like to create things and you want to launch your own e-commerce store. You want to sell things online. Maybe you're an online coach and you want to be able to coach people, to motivate them, inspire. Whatever it is that you want to do, you need to have a very strong why, because if you don't have a strong why, when things don't go according to the plans that you have, which we'll talk about later on, then you get discouraged, you get down, you get frustrated, you give up, and then guess what? You want to start another business. Well, the problem with that is you repeat that same pattern over and over and over, and you never accomplish anything because you keep ignoring things that you need to pay attention to. So definitely make sure that you have a why. Answer this question: what is your why for starting this business? The next thing that you need to do is to register your business name. Now, based on the country that you live in, you can search, like in the States, I go to the Secretary of Gov or state, one of those people, to go there and you search and you get a license. Now, I'm not going to go into the LLC, sole proprietor and all this other stuff. If you want to just get your business started, okay, in the US, you can start it with a basic sole proprietor. That's the very simple, or even the LLC. That's very simple, and it doesn't cost that much, doesn't take that long. I believe that in the US, this LLC starts for about $125 to $50. You can get your stuff done the same day. Okay, so but with a sole proprietor, that helps you get started. Everything is really simple. Now, the reason why I mentioned that you get your business license, because you want this to be legal. Okay, you want this to be a legal entity. So if you have to go for contracts, go for projects and different things, or you just want to make sure that you're covered in that aspect. So register a business name. So once you have your business name going, the next thing that you want to do is to pick out a domain name. Now, a domain name, this is where people are going to go, like a .com, .net, .org, .info, but you want to start with a .com. You could already expand to other ones, .biz, .info, whatever, but you want to start off with a .com because that is more popular. People are more likely to go to a .com first when they're searching for things. So you want to make sure you get a .com, okay? And when you are registering a domain name, pick something that is simple, something that's very easy to understand, easy to pronounce. I've seen some people domain names, sometimes it is so long that people lose focus, People are like, why is this name so long? So you want to choose something that is very simple. Like when I wanted to launch the Joomla website, to learn Joomla fast, I was sitting there thinking, what should I call it? What should I call it? And trying to figure out a name. And my wife, she suggested, learn Joomla fast. Now, that is a really short name. It's not something that's really long. So what I want you to do is I want you to pick a name that is not too long, okay? A name that is really short and sweet and straight to the point, because people have to type that in. You don't want people mistyping. It's something too that's easy to spell. I see some people business name, like their domain name. That's like, how did you even come up with this? What were you thinking? So keep it short and simple. The next thing that you want to do is you want to find web hosting and security. Now, there are lots of different web hosting companies out there, okay? You have GoDaddy, you have HostGator, you have Bluehost. There's so many of them out there. But you want to be able to find a company that offers you 24/7 support. Okay, 24/7 support. You need to get in contact with someone, and you need to get in contact with them at different times. You don't want to get a company that they provide just a few hours of support, and let's say your website is having some issues, in the middle of the night or 1 o'clock in the morning, and you really can't get the support that you need. Now, a web hosting, there's several types of web hosting that you need to be aware of. Okay, you have a shared hosting, you have a VPS hosting, you have dedicated hosting, you have cloud hosting, and so those are the primary ones. If you're starting out, let me keep things simple. All you need to have is a shared web hosting. You don't need a VPS and you don't need a dedicated right now, because those or they can get really complicated. So to make sure that you understand, start up with a shared hosting. Typically a shared hosting, they're very affordable. You can get them for as little as $2 per month, $4 per month, $6. You can get them for under $10 US per month, which is not a big investment. And a lot of times they're going to allow you to they give you a lot of space. So the amount of space that they give you is enough for you to be able to build your website. They can also let you add subdomain names and other domain names. So you want to make sure you get a web hosting that can be able to give you those things. And then other thing too is security. One of the reasons why you need security is that things happen with websites. They can go down, they can get hacked, they can crash, all different things. Most web companies will have a backup that allow you to back up your website on the server. And there's other services too that they offer that you can be able to back up your website, externally, in addition to what they offer. Now, I would recommend that you get those. Those are typically not that expensive. Most web hosting companies will include that in your package. Okay, so they give you up to let's say 20 gigs or 50 gigs of backups per month. Now, when you're launching your website with the hosting, you don't need a lot of space. Most websites, even if you get 10 gigs, that's more than enough space to get you started, okay? Because all the files that are part of your website, they're usually not that much, okay? So you want to make sure that you get that, and your security is important. You get an SSL certificate. Most web hosting companies, again, will offer you an SSL certificate for free, okay? And then if you want to get an ESV, extended validation, other things, but you don't have to worry about that now. So they'll give that to you. If not, ask them how much it is to incorporate it into your package, because that's going to put a little lock on your domain name to let people know that it's secure. And it's also really great. It gives people peace of mind and for SEO reasons as well. So the next one is you want to set some very clear goals, and you want to create plans to reach those goals. Now, I see people do this all the time. They just start a business. They don't have any plans. They have no goals. They have nothing. They just launch it and just think that if you build it, they will come. No, you want to make sure that you set weekly goals. Well, first daily goals, okay? Weekly goals, monthly goals, and yearly goals. So what you want to do is for your daily goals, what do you want to accomplish every day? What do you want to do every day? For me, I usually want to do about 1 or 2 major things per day. For example, even creating this video, I really wanted to take the day. Say, okay, the major task that I'm doing today is I want to create this video for you guys. And then the next thing is I want to edit it and then get it uploaded. So those are 2 things that I had in my agenda for the day. I don't have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So set small goals. Small plans, okay? And even with those plans will help you accomplish bigger goals. So don't have 20 things you want to do. So start off first by saying, okay, what do you really want to accomplish with this website? What are your goals? What do you want to see? Where do you want to see your business 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now? When you start with the end in mind, then you're able to accomplish things a lot better instead of just going in blindly and just saying, well, I just want to start a business and let's see how it goes. It doesn't work that way. Then you create little micro plans. The micro plans I mentioned, you create 1 task per day, you accomplish this per day. And then once you have those things, that gives you a clear path forward. Now, the goals and the plans is based on the type of business that you do. For me, again, I'm doing video today. I say, I want to create 1 video per week, 1 video per month, whatever it is. And I focus just on that alone. So don't try to tackle on too much when you're starting off, okay? Have 1 goal and have a plan to accomplish that every single day, every week, and every month. The next thing is you want to choose a CMS platform. Now, what is a CMS? A CMS is a content management system. You have the Joomla, which I am a big fan of, and as most of you know, you've seen my Joomla tutorials. You have WordPress. You have Shopify, you have Magento, you have so many of the other ones there. Now, if you want to build a diverse site where it's not focused on just one particular thing, then you can go with like a Joomla or a WordPress. Now, what do I mean by that? If you want to build strictly e-commerce and absolutely nothing is just e-commerce, then something like a Shopify would really work because that's exclusively just e-commerce. So if you want to sell products online, okay. But if you want to do a little more, then you can go with a Joomla or a WordPress. Now, the benefits of having those CMSs is that you don't have to be a coder. When I first started online, like in 2002, we didn't have all this stuff back then. Okay, so now you don't have to know how to code the JavaScript, the HTML, the CSS, all those languages. They're being done for you and being presented in what's called the CMS platform. So once you learn the basics of that, you can build just about any website. Like with Joomla, you can create anything with it. You don't have to know how to go on the back end and do this coding and do that. You can use what's called a drag and drop. And what a drag and drop does is you're able to build your landing pages, build your products, add whatever. It's like e-commerce. You can just drag things throughout your page and just drop it. Plain and simple. And I have a lot of video tutorials and courses that covers that. So once you choose your platform, then you can do this by yourself. Or if you want to hire someone, well, I'll say, a designer like myself to build this for you, that's also something that you can do because you need to make sure that you have, if you don't have the time to do it yourself, get someone that is experienced enough to make sure you go on the right path. And I get people ask me all the time, Matthew, I need to get a website going with Joomla. Can you help me? How do you do this? And I'm always glad to work on the project for them. So you definitely need to choose a platform, whether it's Joomla, WordPress, Shopify, or any other platform. There's so many of them out there now that you can choose from a variety of them. So choose that, and then you're ready for the next step. The next step is you need to learn the basics of SEO and social media marketing. What is SEO? SEO is simple, search engine optimization. Now, in the nutshell, that sounds real technical, right? But let me break that down for you. Search, when people are searching for something, engine is where they go to search. Optimization is the method you use for people to find those keywords. So it's pretty much you use certain keywords that people can look for, and then you're going to pop up. Let's say like on Google, which is the #1 search engine platform. When people go into, let's say you sell clothes, right? I know that's really broad, but you sell clothes, people going to buy a certain type of clothes. If you've optimized your website properly, in other words, if your keywords are relevant and they rank high for what that person is looking for, you have a better chance of showing up at the very top or the first page. Now, you want to show up on the first or second page at least, okay? Because after the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, people really normally won't search that deep unless they're doing extensive research. But for the most part, you need to understand the basics of SEO, which has to do with your description tag. Make sure that your pages, all of your pages, have a simple, clear description of what that's about. Okay, make sure your headings are very clear, and you want to incorporate some of your so whatever your description is, make sure that the heading for your page is what's also incorporated in your description. Now, Google and other search engines really don't use keywords that much anymore, so you're better off just optimizing for your description, even though keywords are good to incorporate in there. Okay, now social media, we know that the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, and all those things really, really work. If you're doing a lot more, let me backtrack a little bit. Every social media platform has a strength. Okay, and the conversion rate for each is going to be different. The conversion rate for what you get, let's say you have a restaurant and you want to optimize it, and you put your pictures on, let's say LinkedIn. You put on LinkedIn and you put on Instagram. You're going to get a whole lot more response from Instagram than you do from LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is not really just for people to post. It's more of a business. And what I mean business is that people want a little more concrete stuff there. It's where photos do very well on Instagram. And the conversion rate is always higher on Instagram when it comes to things like that. As where if you post a video that goes into some details and you post that on Instagram and LinkedIn, there's a chance that you're gonna get more views based on what you're talking about on LinkedIn. And the same thing too with Facebook and Twitter. So you have to make sure that you build a social media account on first. You definitely need an Instagram. You need a LinkedIn, you need a Facebook, you need a Twitter, and you might even do a Pinterest as well. There's so many of them right now that just people, I lost track of it. But you want to definitely get started with those. And then you're going to integrate that with your website. And what that means is that when people go on your website, they can click a link that redirects them to your social media pages. The next thing is branding is so key. Now, this is usually should always be at the top of the list because before you do anything, you have to have an idea of the type of brand that you want to go with. In other words, what color scheme do you want to go with? This is so important. I've seen people launch businesses. They don't think about their color scheme. They don't think about the patterns. They just create some type of crazy logo. And when you look at their website, it just doesn't match. So your branding is key. Your branding starts with your logo. You want to design a simple logo. If you don't know how to design logos, search online for free logos, PSD files. You can, if you have Photoshop or any editing software that allows you to edit photos, you can edit and build your own logo. There are lots of websites out there, free logo maker. You can create simple, beautiful logos. Now, whatever color schemes that logo has, you want to incorporate it into your brand. In other words, if that logo has green, black, and blue, or whatever colors that it have, and you definitely don't want to use more than 3 colors in your logo because then it just become, too much. It's a rule of thumb. So integrate the colors from your logo into your website and everything that you do. So when you're doing things, people are going to remember that, oh, this colors, oh, this style, this is from this company. So branding is definitely key. The next thing is you want to make sure you have Google Analytics and Google Search Console. Now, those are 2 different products that's been offered by Google. With the Google Analytics, that helps you to track your website. You need to understand your numbers. You need to understand where your traffic is coming from, the demographic, the location, the time that people browse your website the most, the age range. All those are key metrics that you need to know. Because if you don't know all those things, then you don't have a way of targeting those users. You don't have a way of adjusting your business. Because if you notice that your age group is between the ages of, let's say, teenagers, you have a business that attracts a lot of teens at a certain time, then you want to be able to build a marketing campaign to gear towards those age group. And also, for example, in demographics. Let's say you notice that there's certain people that have a certain amount of income that are attracted to the stuff that you do. You want to be able to understand, how long this down this side, the exit pages, the entry pages and the exit page, how long the sessions are for each page, and all those different things. And Google Analytics or any analytics software will give you all that detail that you need to look. If you don't know how to read that, then you can get someone like myself, or you can hire someone that understands how analytics work. So they can go through your analytics each month. Okay, you want to take a look at your analytics, of course, every month, every week, every day to see what's going on. But you don't measure the success or how things are going in your business daily. You go every quarter. So about 3 to 4 months or so, you see how things are going within that time frame. Then you make adjustments for the upcoming quarter. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are doing that because that will help you plan for better. And with the Google Search Console, that allows you to do what's called a site map. Every website has a site map. In other words, the content on there of that website is being converted for robots to be able to see. So Google is going to let you know if there are any 404 pages, just like error page, if there's any broken links, if things are not working, or is it optimized for the mobile devices. You want to make sure that your website is optimized for mobile. So that's what Google Search Console, it'll let you know if your website is how it's doing, like your site health. And when it gives you a site health, sometimes you have a broken link that you don't know about, but then through Google Search Console, you can be able to go through there and then just say, okay, this link is not working, this not going through, that's not going there, I got to fix this, and it lets you know all those details. So it's good to make sure that you get that and integrate it with your website. And it's very, very simple to do so. The next phase is you publish your website. So congratulations, your website is now ready for the world to see. Now, you can share this with your friends, you can share this with your family, you can share with your colleagues. This is the moment that you've worked so hard for. This is the moment that you've been waiting for. So feel free to share your website with people. Just share with everybody. Just walk down the street, just share with a dog, a cat. They don't have internet, but they'll tell someone. I'm sure their owner have internet, but share it with the world, because this is your moment. This is your business. This is your baby. You've worked so hard to get to this point. So feel free, just share it out there. The next phase you want to do is you want to test and retest. Again, test, retest, just repeat that over and over. I've seen so many people launch websites, they don't test anything, they don't check anything, they just put it out there and it has a bunch of broken links, this and that. Now, this is going to be this is going to be a phase that you go through. Okay, even for me, when I work on clients' website or my own website, I always, when you launch it, you can do tests on your own, but also have other people check for things. Have them check for links, make sure the images are loading, check for the page speed, make sure they check for a whole lot of different things to make sure that the users are getting a really good experience. You don't want for people to come on your site and there's nothing going on and always broken links, the page is taking forever to load. You don't want that to happen, because people get frustrated and they're going to leave. And you have just a short time to make someone stay on your website. So if your website takes, let's say, 15 seconds to load, you forget it. It needs to load within 3 seconds, at most 5 seconds. So if your website keeps taking forever to load, people are going to leave and they may never come back. So make sure that you have people test, retest every aspect of your website, and they'll give you feedback. Feedback, which is the next point. Listen, you want to give people's feedback about what you're working on. Some people get like, I don't need your feedback. I got this, I can do this. No, that's not very wise as a business owner. You need for people to give you feedback about what's working, what they think about this, because that is how you improve your business. So you have to learn to take constructive criticism, which is something that I welcome. Any constructive criticism that people give me for my business, personal, I'll take it and I learn, I go from there. Now, if it's destructive, was from a jealousy standpoint, then I don't have, forget it. But you have to give feedback, because that is how you make improvement on your business continually. And number 14 is you want to integrate some type of email marketing software for you to generate leads or get people's email. Now, email marketing is very powerful. So what happened is that you can use like a MailChimp or AC Mailing or GetResponse, Vertical Response. They have so many of these email marketing software, Infusionsoft. You integrate that with your website. In other words, it's part of your marketing. So when people come in, you ask them for their name and their email. Now, what you do is on the back end of whatever software that you're using, you're going to send out regular emails. You can do this every day, every week, or every month, or every quarter. That's based on how you want to do it. Okay, this is very key, because that is how you connect with your audience. When you build a certain amount of users that have subscribed to you, you can start to, sell them different things and give them different offers and, different things that they can be able to get, whether it's like a discount, product updates, the first in line or whatever it is. But you want to integrate email marketing software into your website is really, really key. And finally, the last but not least, keep learning, keep improving, and keep growing. I see so many people that launch their website and they think that they don't have to do anything else. The website is up, forget it, I'm done. That is not the way that works. When you launch your website, that is just the beginning. You learn, you grow, you take feedback, you check analytics, you find marketing methods and techniques that work for your type of business, for your industry, for your brand, even sometimes for your location. Because what works for one location may not work for another location. So always keep learning, keep learning. I've seen so many people that just get complacent. If you want to move forward, you have to learn to adjust and adapt, because your business is going to go through different phases. It's going to go through different phases. When you first start, that excitement is there, and you might make a few sales when first launch, and then you realize after a while, like things have dried up, like what's going on? What do I need to adjust? What do I need to change? And then you feel free to network and build with other people that are doing what you're doing. That is another great way. So you have to keep learning and keep adjusting. So I hope that these steps have helped you to get going. If you need help to still launch your business, I'm definitely available to help you get that going. I've been working with businesses since 2002, a lot of different businesses of all sizes. And one of the things that I really love to do is to get business when they're starting, okay? Because when you're starting a business, that is a crucial time. If you don't start out right, it's gonna cost you, that's gonna take you 2 or 3 years down the line before you get back on track. So if you need for someone to be able to design your website, consultation, to help make sure that you go on the right path, I would love to help you, not just to get your business off the ground, but to also work with you on the one-on-one, because I believe relationships matter in business. Work with you and answer your questions that you need to understand about your business. Now, you may not want to be as involved in there, and I have a lot of clients that reach out to me and they'll just hand everything to me to do this and do that, and I'll just give them feedback, consultation, and things like that. So if that's what you're interested in, I'd love to work with you, but I hope these tips and steps help you get launched, and I can't wait to see your business.